it's gonna huddle? Haven't always been a farmer, you know. Haven't always been a farmer. I used to be a fireman, that's how I got elected. I was up and down my pole like a yo-yo. One day the bell rang down my pole, had to rescue this lady from the top floor flats. I says, come on, love, you're all right. It's the second time today I've saved a pregnant woman. She says, I'm not pregnant. I said, you're not saved yet. Just to think it's going to hold it. Anyway, I remember the day I got married. I said to the vicar, do you agree with sex before marriage? He says, not if it's going to up the ceremony. We went to Morecambe for our honeymoon. It was when the new cameras had just come out, you know, that takes the instant pictures. So the first night she says, I was going to have a bath. So when she got out the bath, I snapped her. I says, there you are. That's your first picture as a married woman. I says, I was getting in the bath now. So I got in the bath and I got out, she snapped me. I says, it's all right. She says, I'm going to have it in live. And I went around the front, to Yorker, and here's this red Indian called Hiawatha. He says, I will answer any question. So I thought, he'll not get this. I said, morning, Hiawatha. I said, no, we scored the goal at Brunton Park in 1947 between Carlisle United and Hackrington Stanley. I said, oh, Ivor Rodgers. Next year we went back, he was still there. I said, how? He said, a penalty kick from the waterfront. We've just got a new milkman, you know. And he knocked on the door the other day, he said, how many pints would you like? I says, where are you from? He says, Bombay. I said, by God, you have a big round. And Martha says to me, you'd see that milkman, he's made love to every woman in this street, except one. And I said, where's that? She said, I bet it's that stuck-up bitch from nowhere. Anyway, I've got an antique shop now, you know. Rare fine relics. Rare fine relics. This Irish fella come in the other day. What a nice fella. He says, I'm looking for something to take home for me mammy in Ireland. I said, I think I've just the thing, Daniel. So I went for it. I went into the back. I fetched this bit of velvet, it had a marble on it. I says, there you are, your mummy would like that. It's Nelson's High. Oh, I said, dear Mary, but it isn't. It's never Nelson's High. I says, it is. He was the one on the Victory. He was got his eye shot up, and that's it. And he says to his lieutenant, kiss me, Hardy. There was a lot of talk at the time. Oh, he says, I'm highly delighted at that. Thank you very much indeed. So the next day I come back, he says, have you anything else for me? I'm going back to Ireland tomorrow. I want something for me mammy. I said, I've just a thing. Well, I've been to Penrice's and I bought one of them muddles and I took the arm off it. I says, there you are, Napoleon's arm. I said, never such a thing. I says, it's Napoleon's arm. He must have come from Wickham, who was keeping his hand on his money. He says, it's Napoleon. I says, it's Napoleon's arm. Your mum would like that. He says, I'll take it home for me, mammy. The next morning he come in again. He says, I'm going home today. Have you one more thing for me to take home for me, mum? I said, I've indeed. So I went in the back and got these two loud tatties. He says, are they Napoleons? I said, no, they're King Edward. West Street in Wickham the other day, and Martha shouted across the road, she said, Jobby, your flies are rotten. I said, don't worry lass, a dead parrot never jumped up to the cage.